Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to group. So if just a little refresher, remember group, we're talking about our families, we're talking about like the violence that happens in our families. So we're gonna go over some rules again and some just refreshers. So first thing, remember everything we say in this room stays in this room. So we're not gonna go talk to our friends and family about what other group members say, just to respect them. Everyone good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then another thing is that if you guys do say anything that, I would say would harm someone else or harm yourself, I do have to report that, but you're not in trouble if you say it and I have to report it. That's not trying to, tattletale or anything like that. It's just for safety. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes?
Okay. What if I share something with my mom or my dad? Is that allowed or?
Like from group?
Yeah, like something not necessarily like what somebody said, but just like a topic that we discussed.
If you would like to discuss a topic without discussing like who said something or what you like without naming people or whatnot, that would be okay. If you're just saying like, oh, we talked about family and whatnot, that would be okay. But like, just don't don't say like Abby said this and that, because that's fine as long as it's not. But
okay,
yeah. And then another thing is just our ground rules that we have for the day. So, one, we want to be respectful, and two, we want to listen to what everyone's saying, and we don't want to interrupt anyone while they're speaking. Does anyone want to add any rules?
Just the one that like you don't interrupt somebody when they're talking.
Yeah, of course. Anyone else? You guys?
No yelling?
No yelling?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one. We'll definitely add that. Okay, so we're going to add no yelling. We'll use our inside voices for the day. Yeah, alright. So let's just go around the room and say our names again. So I'm Hannah, I'm the group leader for the day. And then, anyone want to start?
My name is Darius.
Darius.
I'm Abby. I'm Christina.
Alright, perfect. So thank you all for coming again. It's a really big step and I'm really proud of everyone for being here. So first thing we're going to do, so on this piece of paper, I wrote the word violence. And what we're going to do is, so I have some markers here. You can pick whatever color you want to pick. And we're just going to write, I want everyone to rate like kind of, what does violence mean to you? Like, what do you think it means? Just kind of like a definition. Does everyone know what it means to define?
On the paper.
On the paper, yeah.
Just wherever
you want to. Yeah. And you can also, if you want to draw something, or you want to, whatever you want to do to define what the word means. And if we need more space, we can use another piece of paper. Okay? Okay. Alright, thank you everyone for participating. Okay, so this is what we kind of came up with. So does anyone want to read maybe the different words on it? Or do you want me to read them?
Yeah, you can read them, please.
There it is. Did you want to read them?
I can try.
I'm going to try this one.
An act of violence.
Violence.
another person, anger, rage, upset.
That's good. Do we know what violate means?
No.
No?
And
Anyone have an idea?
does it mean hurting someone?
Yeah, so when we violate someone, it's kind of like we're stepping over like a line. So everyone has their personal bubble, like that's your personal bubble. And when someone breaks that, that's kind of what it means to violate someone. So you're intruding, or you're hurting that person, but you're taking away their personal space. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So like being tackled by my brother.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone want to read any of the other words?
Punch.
Punch.
Hurt.
Yeah. So you guys did a really good job at kind of describing what violence is. So it's when the technical big term would be when someone brings about physical force upon another person. So we're gonna go on to the next little activity. So why do you think we would be talking about violence today? Does anyone have any ideas?
I'm not sure. I haven't hit anyone. Not yet. So.
Because my mom and dad hit each other.
Yeah, so Christina's kind of hit it a little spot on right there. So we're talking about our families, and sometimes mom and dad there might be some violence that occurs, and our biggest thing about that is that we want to stay safe. So we're gonna, on these paper plates, so staying safe is really important when violence happens. Does anyone know why?
So we don't get hurt.
Yeah, because we don't want to intrude, or we don't want to be a part of that violence, because that could hurt you and it might cause more to happen. So staying safe is going to be one of our number one priorities. So what I want you to do on these paper plates is kind of just, if you can't, draw out a layout of what your house might look like your different rooms, you have your living room and your bedroom and maybe a bathroom, some of those different places. And then I want you to kind of mark what you think would be a safe space in your house. If mom and dad were fighting, where would you go to get away from that, or to stay safe? Does that make sense?
Does it have to be inside of our own house, or can it be leaving to go to a friend's house on our street or something?
Yeah, if you want to add that, you can totally do that. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't have to be specifically, if that's maybe not where you go, then you can add maybe grandma's house or a friend's house if you want to do that.
Okay.
But yeah, so if you want to just draw on them, or you can write on them if you want to, whichever one. Is everyone finished?
Yes.
So you don't have to share if you don't want to, but if you want to go around and maybe if you want to show what your picture is and maybe give a little explanation of like what you drew, or would anyone want to go first, or
I just drew my house.
Mhm.
So there's the downstairs, and then there's the basement.
Yeah.
And then there's my dad's room, my mom's room, and my room.
Mhm.
And here's the attic where I like to go and play.
Yeah.
So for me, when there's a lot of noise going on,
Mhm.
I like to go to the basement and just kind of just wait, then wait for the noise to stop. Then I just come back up and go play.
So I think that's a good way of getting away from if it's upstairs, maybe go downstairs. I think that's really good that you know to do that, and that's smart. Yeah, that's good. Anyone else want to share?
I can go. So I just did like a floor, whatever, just a layout, and I have like the family room, like the kitchen,
Mhm.
the bathroom, my bedroom, and then my closet. So I would go like in the closet, but I wouldn't go in like the family room or the kitchen because that's where like mom and dad are usually like arguing, and it just gets really loud, and I don't like that.
Thank you for sharing.
For me, I just attempted to like draw my grandma's or my friend's house. So yeah, I just go to my friend's house next door because being there when my parents are arguing or fighting, there's nowhere in my house that I can really get away from it.
Yeah. So
I go next door because my friend like helps me and distracts me from those things.
Well, I'm thank you for sharing, and I'm glad you have that outlet to go somewhere else. That's really important. So I want to let you guys know about another thing. So when violence does occur, does everyone know where like a phone is in their home? Everyone know where that is? Okay. Do you guys know like how to dial a number on the phone? You ever done that?
Yeah.
Like 911.
So thank you guys for actually that is exactly what we're gonna talk about. So another thing that's kind of important is to stay safe. Calling 911. So is a phone number you can call, and basically, so like the police, everyone know what the police are? So they can come to the home and help, stop the violence from occurring and kind of help you stay safe. So that's also, it's an important thing that to know, because sometimes it may feel like you don't have any options to get away from it. Does anyone relate to that?
Yeah.
Well, my dad says he says that if that we shouldn't call the cops because it's our family business, so nobody else should get involved. It's not supposed to be a good thing for us to do. So I don't know if I should.
Yeah. Has your dad ever said anything that he would do something if you did call?
Not really. He's mostly just really angry when he says it. So it's, it just makes me scared to actually do it because maybe he will do something.
That's definitely a valid feeling to have, because definitely in that situation, it can feel definitely really scary. And I think, there's a positive side and a negative side to to everything that happens. But if you're able to at least, get into the basement and stay safe that way, that is important. And then maybe later, if you can, talk to like your grandma or anyone else in your family, that would also be a good way to get away too, or something.
Okay.
Yeah. Because we definitely don't wanna cause any more harm that could potentially happen. But our number one priority is that we want to stay safe. So.
Yes.
Well, thank you everyone for participating. So, just to kind of reflect on what we just went over today. So, our number one thing is that when violence does happen, we want to stay safe. So, we want to make sure that we're not getting involved in any of the violence, and we want to make sure that we can get help if we have access to it. We want to make sure we can get help. So, does everyone understand what that means?
Yes.
Yeah. Does anyone have any thoughts or questions about what we talked about? No. Okay. Well, I really appreciate everyone for opening up and speaking about this topic and going over, where you might go, and I really appreciate that, and I'm really glad everyone came today. So thank you for that again. And so we will meet again soon. So I want everyone to have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you.